Foods banned in America. Who doesn't love eating? I for one do, although I'm really not into the exotic. Some exotic foodies in the US, however, won't be able to try any of these delicacies. Today, we're going to talk about 15 foods banned in the US. The food item on number 1 is probably too much, even to the most foodie of foodies. Stay tuned. Shark fins. We start of this list with something that isn't totally banned in the United States, but the shark enthusiast in me thinks it should be banned everywhere. Believe it or not, shark fins are not entirely banned in the United States. Currently, only 12 states uphold an official ban on the sale of shark fins. However, the act of shark finning itself has been illegal in U.S. waters since 2000. Shark finning is banned, as it is considered an act of animal cruelty because it involves the slicing of fins off live sharks just to toss them overboard and endure a horrific demise. Still, 10 of the 12 states that banned the sale of shark fin still allow restaurants to serve the meat. Shark fin soup is actually considered to be a luxury dish in several Asian countries, especially China. Ackee fruit. Another food item that is banned, but not really banned, is the ackee fruit. Ackee is the national fruit of Jamaica. However, when it and number 39, s unripe, the fruit contains high levels of the toxin hypoglycin A, which inhibits the body and number 39, s ability to release blood glucose. This can cause people to fall into a state of hypoglycemia, a condition where glucose levels are too low, which can induce vomiting, ultimately cause dehydration, and even result in death. Importation of the raw fruit was banned by the FDA in 1973, but you can still purchase canned or frozen ackee fruit in the US that have been cleared to have a low enough concentration of the toxin. Sassafras oil. While the root bark of the sassafras plant has historically been used by Native Americans to treat illness including fever and rheumatism, the oil from sassafras lends a different result. There is a compound in sassafras oil called safrole, which is a known carcinogen. If you don't know what a carcinogen is, well, they are substances that have been proven to cause cancer in humans. The FDA set a ban on sassafras oil back in the 1960s. But again, this isn't a complete ban. Extracts from the roots of the plant are still legal as long as they do not contain safrole. Ortolans. Ortolans are tiny songbirds. I can literally hear you asking right now, who in the world would want to eat a songbird? As it turns out, it's the French. This tiny rare songbird was a former French delicacy, having been exclusively served to royalty and wealthy gourmands. Selling of ortolan became illegal in France only in 1999, 20 years after the EU deemed it a protected species. The US also banned the selling and importation of bird, which measures out to be the size of a thumb, weighing less than an ounce. Foie gras. Here come the French again with their controversial eats. Foie gras may be a celebrated delicacy of French cuisine, but the way it and number 39 s made is unethical, which is why the City Council in Chicago placed a ban on the production and sale of the dish from 2006 to 2008. More recently, the state of California officially banned the sale of the delicacy after former attempts had been challenged in previous years. Foie gras is the fatty liver that comes from either ducks or geese. The liver is fattened by force-feeding the animal with grain and fat until the liver swells. As one could imagine, this is so uncomfortable for the birds that they begin to tear out their feathers or even injure one another out of distress. A nationwide ban has yet to be enforced. However, it may be on the horizon with California and number 39's successful ban just last year. Kinder Surprise eggs. Those who have traveled in Europe know how popular Kinder chocolate is, but the main reason it hasn't gained traction in the US is because not all of Kinder's products are legal here. Specifically, The hollow Kinder Surprise eggs are prohibited in the States because they contain non-edible items inside them. Here's the good news, a different version of Kinder eggs, called Kinder Joy, should become available in the US sometime in 2018. These also contain a surprise toy, but their packaging seals both halves of the hollow egg to keep the toy away from the rest of the candy, making them fully compliant with FDA regulations. Sea turtles. Sea turtles are caught and killed for their meat. In some countries they are even considered a delicacy, but you've surprised to know that they're caught and killed for meat even in the U.S. In 2007. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service reported that conservationists estimated that 35,000 sea turtles are consumed annually in California alone. Now according to Sea Turtle Conservancy, sea turtles are given legal protection in the U.S. and its waters under the Endangered Species Act. This lists the hawkbill, leatherback, Kem's Ridley and green turtle as endangered. The loggerhead is listed as threatened though. So I think that might still be up for grabs. Mangosteen. Mangosteen is a fruit that is enjoyed throughout Southeast Asia. It is highly coveted for its many healing properties that have been shown successfully treat numerous diseases in Asia for thousands of years. Now I understand why the prior entries were banned, but why is such a beneficial wholesome fruit banned as well? As it turned out, it's only as humans who enjoy eating this fruit. Flies also find them very tasty. Until recently it's been illegal to import it as a fresh fruit in the US due to fears thought it could harbor the Asian fruit fly, which is something that could destroy US crops. Now import is permitted, but it must be controlled and irradiated by the USDA. The queen conch. The queen conch is a large marine snail that lives in the Caribbean Sea and adjacent waters and is one of the most valuable fishery resources for every country throughout its range. And yes, people actually eat them. Just think of escargot. Only super seized. They're reported to be pretty tasty actually, but unfortunately commercial and recreational harvest of this animal is generally banned in US waters, not because they're dangerous to eat but because they are highly endangered. Queen conch populations are declining throughout their range and have been mostly depleted. In some areas they are highly sought after for their meat, and even though they are critically endangered, are one of the most valuable species in the Caribbean.